I went back to England and I met this guy from the United States. And I said, no, I never seen a dollar. Can you show me a dollar? He said, I don't have a dollar, but I have a quarter. I said, okay. So he gave me the quarter and I put it in a cross. And he gave me his card. And he said, if you go to San Diego, hey, I'll be there to help you. I was so happy. I worked so hard for 3 or 4 months. I finally flew to the United States and I arrived in San Diego and I went straight to the address. And I arrived at the address. There was 2 old guys, retirees. And I said, hey, can I speak to John? John who? I don't know. He gave me his card. Is that the right address? She says, yes, it's the right address. And there was a telephone. Remember, I didn't have a cell phone. That was in 1984. I said, can you call? He said, yeah, we're going to call. So they called. Nobody at the end. I'm still looking for John. I've been on radio, been in TV, George Norrie, 40 million people. I've been in so many TV. John would have seen me, would have heard about me and my stories. So what happened there? I don't know. I got married and I said to my wife, you know, honey, I tell you what, I've been delegating with extraterrestrial in my life and maybe one day you'll be touched. Little did I know what was going to happen to that poor girl. Brigitte was very pretty, very beautiful. She was doing beauty pageant. And that night, that day, she says to me, well, there is a big pageant going on in Anaheim at the Hilton Hotel just before Disneyland. So I want to go there and participate. I said, okay, no problem. So we need to go to bed and have your beauty sleep so you can win. Oh my gosh. Again, in the middle of the night, she woke up, she was crying, she was trembling, she was on the fetus position in the floor, she was going like this. In 10 years of marriage, I never seen my wife in such a state. I was scared of what's going on with her. I never seen her like that. She made me look under the bed. She made me look in the cupboard, in the basement. She says, there's something in the house. She had a premonition to what was going to happen the next day. So I said, oh my gosh. The clock rang in the morning and I look at her and said, you know what, you look like hell. So there's no point of going there. She says, no, I want to go. I don't want to stay in the house. I want to go. So knowing, I had a feeling that something wrong was going to happen that day. Okay. So I really pay attention of the date. Remember November 11, 1981? That was August 11, 1991. Okay? It's important to pay attention to the dates because this is real. It was about 8 o'clock. I just finished to fill up my tank. And here we go. I'm on high five with my wife. And as I was driving, I kind of asked her if she was okay, what happened last night. She says, I don't want to talk about it. So I keep driving. And all of a sudden, I felt like if I drove into a cloud. The last thing I remember is driving through a bridge called Jamboree Road. That's the last thing I remember. I didn't feel the wheel in the car anymore. And then I said, honey, I don't recognize anything. Where are we? She says, honey, you're going to make me late. Hurry. I didn't see the sign of Los Angeles or Disneyland for that matter. We're going to be late. So I need to get prepared. So please move on. Because I said, I don't know where we are. I'm going to exit. So I took the first exit. She was upset. And then I drove into a parking lot and there was 3 Mexican guys on the back of a white Toyota and they were eating. So I went to them and I said, excuse me, could you tell me where I am? Well, those guys were looking at me like, tonto de la cabeza, you smoke too much pot, which I never do. I don't drink and I don't smoke. They said, you are at the Los Angeles Zoo. Now, Los Angeles Zoo is 90 miles north. Whoa, wait a minute here. I said, okay, what time is it, please? And they said, it's 9 o'clock. Now, if I drive a Ferrari, if there is no traffic in Los Angeles or no cops to stop me at 150 miles per hour, I could have done the trip. It took me over 2.5 hours to go back to where we're supposed to be. My wife and I, we were completely. And then as she was taking a shower, she said, honey, look. She showed me above the airline, she had a scar of 2 inches or more, like a laser cut. What is this? So I don't know. Then after that, she called a friend and she disappeared. She completely disappeared. She divorced me. It was pretty hard on me. What happened is, I met this guy, he was a UFO researcher, and he says to me, I have 2 very top of the line hypnotherapists. in Victorville in California, and I told them your situation because I spoke to him first. He was the first guy I ever spoke about UFOs. And they're gonna get 2 cameras. They're gonna freeze the first frame and the last frame, and an hour later, you know, we're gonna see what's going on. So they hypnotized me. And I mean, an hour and a half later, you can see not even the movement of my shirt. I was so gone. It's only when I say I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot that you see me sweating, literally sweating buckets. What happened is they suck us into the belly of a flying saucer. Those 3 guys that I saw with my sister were into the flying saucer. And I was saying to my wife, honey, it's all good. Don't you worry, been there, done that before. Everything, it will be fine. It's like I had an agreement to whatever horrific thing was going to happen later, okay? But I had an agreement for some reason. I was not upset. So that's when I went into that little room and I saw the Earth that size. That to tell you in the mothership how far I was up there. And anyway, after a certain time, I was really, really, really hot. And then you see me in the hypnotic session, just literally sweating buckets when I was in that decontaminating room before getting inside of the saucer. Then I went inside, and that's where I saw the Greys, you know, doing the electronics, flying the saucer, whatever they were doing, and I knew exactly where to go when I saw my wife. They were taking the fetus of our child. My wife was 3 months pregnant. And to this day, my wife, they erased that memory. They erased the memory. She does not know. She says, I was never pregnant. If you ask her, she has never been pregnant. She was 3 months pregnant. And most of all, that was incredible. How is it possible for them to cut my wife to 2.5 inches, okay, and to have it heal almost immediately? So that was something incredible. Then I went into another room and I sat. I was free to move. And something came down from the ceiling. It was like a helmet. Stop at my nose. And then I felt like electricity, the concrete, fire. I had like an implosion. And that's where the extraterrestrial downloaded the secrets of the cosmic code. And I was forced after that to rekindle Nostradamus' 16th century divine astrology. After that, of course, she was so upset when I told her, honey, remember I told you we might have to go through this type of experience. She said, well, next time we go through LA and I don't see it, let me know. Okay, she refused to accept the reality that we were 90 miles north. And then it was so dramatic that she kicked my butt. And then I was depressed and really, really depressed. And that opened the door to, of course, cancer. And then my 2 oncologists said to me, you know, you need to go through chemotherapy, make sure it doesn't come back. And I refused. My little voice, ETs, told me to go shopping. So I went to the vegetable area and I saw a bunch of roots, a bunch of vegetable that I never seen before, I never tested before. I bought everything at home, juice everything, put some honey and drank it. Felt like tornado inside and the cancer never came back. I called it the universal blood transfusion. And then came